Hello everyone. Welcome to Ed Talk TV, Conversations Worth Having. I'm your host, Ed Troxel, and I'm the tech-savvy business strategist who is going to help you get your tech life right and your business life right. Let's just face it. It is technically, Tuesday? It's technically Tuesday, but it feels like Monday, but in a good way, because I get to hang out with you guys again. We had a long weekend here in the U.S., for those who are in the U.S., because we have UK viewers, so we had a holiday weekend. Welcome, Tammy, everyone jumping in. Love the new intro. Yes, thanks, Tammy. We're going to talk about that. I appreciate the feedback. We'll talk about that, everyone, in just a second. I hope that you all had a great weekend. Let me know how you're doing, because it feels like it's been a long time since we talked. If you're new around here, at the very least, you have to comment. That's all I ask. You can share, you can like, you can do all that stuff, tag your friends for this video, which is awesome. But I want you to share in the comments. That's what I want you to do. Comment. Let me know who you are, how you found me, if this is your first time. Otherwise, connect with each other in the comments. That's huge. Even on the replay viewers, I see you all the time, and I love talking to you just as much as I love talking to live viewers. So this is a business talk show. We talk about business, tech, and the user experience. We typically go live Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you can find all of the information you need, including being able to come on and be a guest here on the show after at edtroxel.com. The link is in the comments, so we'll jump in and talk about that. Look at you. I just wanted to say congrats on the new car. Oh, thanks. I saw it, but didn't think I sent my congratulations. Thank you, Electra. That was awesome. So yeah, for you guys who are just now tuning in, who will be watching the replay, let me know your feedback. I just switched up the show a little bit in terms of my intro. You'll see different things throughout the middle of the broadcast here, and then you'll see things at the end of the broadcast because I'm really trying to make it more TV show style. So, and it helps with the content breakup too. So I'll be looking for your feedback, lots of different little things that I'm tweaking here and there just to see what works and what doesn't. So be sure to keep that feedback rolling, even if you're watching the replay. And today we're going to talk about what is holding you back. Like, why haven't you started yet? And we'll talk more about that here when we get to the main segment. But right now, we're going to talk about random news. So a lot of things happened since we last spoke. A couple of things yesterday. Anybody have any troubles with their Facebook account? Their Instagram account? Both? Anybody? I will say, thankfully, I did not get too affected by whatever happened yesterday. It was seemed like a short amount of time, at least, that I noticed, but I just couldn't go live anywhere to tell you guys that Facebook was having issues, and I couldn't post anywhere, really. The only thing I could post was on my personal profile. Groups wasn't working, Facebook page wasn't working, nothing. Some of you guys even chimed in on the personal page, or personal profile, where I actually posted to let those of you who follow me know. Some of you guys posted that your whole Instagram account was gone. Like, literally nothing there. Like, your whole feed just wiped clean. This is a good reminder for us all. We talk about it on the show a lot, right? Why we can't rely solely on our social media profile. Facebook business page, Instagram business page, whatever. It's great to have them, and it's a good complement to whatever else we're doing, but we don't have control over it. It's not our website. So when things happen, they're out of our control. And thankfully, those accounts have gotten back up and running, and whatever glitch happened, I haven't seen any details yet as to what exactly happened, but a lot of us were affected by it. And, that it scares the pants off of us, right? When we see our profile, especially a business profile, completely gone. Like, gone. It shows your name and nothing else. Does that freak you out? Freaks me out. So just keep in mind that it's always great to have another avenue. Like, don't just put all your eggs in one basket. Remember, start with your website and branch out with your social media platforms, and make sure that you're saving your good content in multiple places. That's called a backup. And yes, there's a backup to a backup to a backup in most cases. For example, if I take photos on my phone, it saves to my phone, it goes to the cloud. I also save it in another cloud, just in case. things like that. It's always good to have backups. So keep that in mind. Welcome to all those joining. We're just going over random news. The other thing I want to let you guys know about, any of you who are looking for web hosting. Web hosting. Do we know what that is, even if you're watching the replay? Web hosting is what you will need if you have a website that you want to have built on WordPress.org. Not .com, .org. So web hosting is something that you'll need. Basically, think of it as an online storage unit where you put all your stuff for your website. SiteGround is the one I use, and they are having an awesome sale that's still going on until, I think it's till the 9th. I will put in my affiliate link just so you guys know here in the comments. That way you go have it. Feel free to share with your friends. Here is my affiliate link for web hosting. Like, you guys need to hear me say it, but I have to. And then Facebook, sometimes when they do this, it drives me crazy. You copy a link, and then it takes like the whole Facebook link instead of the one that you want, if that makes any sense whatsoever. There you go. So I just popped that into the comments for you. SiteGround, the reason I use them is not because I'm an affiliate. I mean, it's awesome that they offer that, but the reason I use SiteGround is because they have the best customer service in web hosting. I've used others before. I won't name them, but I have used many popular ones, and SiteGround has been by far the best in terms of support, getting back to me quickly, getting things taken care of, and that's for me as a techie, but also me as a regular consumer too. So just putting that out there, and they have really great plans, so it is affordable for those who are on a really tight budget. It's a great plan. So that's what I wanted to make sure to share with you guys there. Now, in random news, this one is Mindy. Awesome, yeah, perfect. Yeah, they have good customer service. All right, so I'm glad that you chimed in on that one too. I love it. So with this story that's coming up, I don't know how we would categorize this. If it was a good business decision, I mean, across the board, this story that I'm about to share with you is bad across the board, okay? But if we put our business hats on and we think about how they thought outside the box just a little bit, I feel like it's almost like we have to appreciate the fact that they at least were trying something different. They were, some of you guys are going to be like, Ed, this is crazy. You know how I'm always saying, how can we make this better, right? Well, this story tried to make things better for their customers. Now, I do not recommend this at all. Whatever disclaimer I have to put out there, this is not me suggesting you do this. It's just random news, okay? So, you guys are going to see when I flip my screen. Oh, I got to be on the right screen, though. Give me 1 second. All right. So, a couple in Florida created a drive-through window in their mobile home for selling drugs. Yeah, how about that? Now, again, I am not, like, this is so random and weird, but the fact that they thought about putting in a drive-through for the convenience of their customers so that they wouldn't have to go out of the car, they wouldn't have to go in and out of the house. It was just, I don't know how it causes less traffic, to be honest, because you still have a lot of traffic. You have people driving versus walking. So I don't really know how that part worked out. But that was one of the reasons why they created the drive-through. And so, Tammy, right? Drive-through branding. I'm telling you, you guys, you could make a drive-through for anything, apparently, clearly, at least here in Florida, or I'm not in Florida. No. I'm in California for those who are new. But in Florida, you could do that. I did not see this coming, Ed Troxel. I thought you were going to talk about something completely different. They have aspirations to buy into a franchise. I'm telling you guys, I saw that the other day and I was like, you got to be kidding me. I'm so mixed on how this plays out. Like, I'm always about, encouraging you guys to follow through on your business goals and, really just how can you make things better. But this one, I don't know. But, at least they thought outside the box. Obviously, they got arrested and things were taken care of by the police, thankfully, but, they tried. And in other random news, Disneyland, how many of you guys are parents? I know a lot of you are, especially if you're watching the replay. Let me know in the comments. But Disneyland, for those who are parents who go to Disneyland, soon you'll actually be very, very happy to go, starting in 2019, because they are actually going to, wait for it, oh, gotta be on the right screen. They're going to start serving alcohol to the general public in a certain area for Star Wars. It's going to be the Star Wars Cantina, and it's going to be the first time that they will have alcohol available to the public. Apparently there is a Club 33, an ultra-exclusive Club 33, where they've been serving that there, but it's not open to the public. So parents, you have something to look forward to next time you go to Disneyland, but you have to wait till 2019 once this opens. So there's that part. And that concludes our random news for today. We are going to switch over to a quick ad, and then I'm going to bring us into our main topic today. So here we go. This is part of the new format, so take a look, and I'll be right back. All right. So we are back, and we are going to jump into today's topic, which is why haven't you started yet? So tell me, even if you're watching the replay, why haven't you started? And you're probably thinking, well, Ed, I don't know. What do you mean? What are we talking about here? Talking about business? Are we talking about a service? Are we talking about a product, just a project in general? Well, that's what I want you to let me know in the comments. Why haven't you started XYZ yet? Like, what's holding you back? That's what I want to know. The reason I want to know that and want you to share it, even if you're watching the replay, is because September is basically a kickoff for us, right? It's a nice, clean, back to business month. Kids are going back to school. We're going back to business. Even if you feel like you haven't really left business, we're starting fresh. And it's one of those times of year, the fall, that really things start to pick up. And I felt it for a while, and I know this is how it's been in the years before. It's one of those times where things just really start to pick up quick. And then, holiday comes, and then right after holiday, it picks up again even more. So I really want you to start being prepared for things. And part of that preparation, if you haven't started already, is going to be now. So I want you to think about, why haven't you started XYZ? Like, you fill in the blank there, and you can feel free to let me know in the comments, even on the replay. But why haven't you started that project yet, that product, that service? Like, what's holding you back? Now, oftentimes what I hear from people is excuses. I know that word's harsh. It feels bad. I feel bad saying it, but let's just be real. Excuses is what we all, myself included, will put out there in terms of why we can't do X, Y, Z. What are some of those excuses? And you can tell me in the comments, even if you're watching the replay, what are some of those excuses based off of your own thoughts or thoughts that you've heard from other people? Like, what are those excuses? I'm going to take a sip of water while you guys pop those into the comments, and then we'll review a few of them too. I'll tell you the number one excuse that I hear all the time is I don't have time. How many of you have heard this or can agree that you've said it? I know I have. I don't have time. That's like the biggest one. So let's write that down. You know, this is always fun to bring in the big post-it board. So we bring this in here. Let's get our show up, deliver, engage there. Boom. Let's get that. If you guys don't know what those little cards are, right there, those are thank you cards. I got 2 thank you cards. I think it was last week in the mail. And I was like, what? So those are handwritten thank you cards. I love it. Tammy says, it's too hard. I'm too busy. Yep. So I don't. And don't worry about the handwriting, because let's face it, I'm a techie. I do the typing. I don't do the handwriting. It's too hard. Perfect. We got I'm too busy. Giant Post-it. Yeah, Tammy, these are the best. Okay, just so you guys know, this is the entrepreneur wallpaper. That's what I've claimed this to be. Like, Post-it, if you're watching, like, let's talk about how we can market this for you, because this is what every entrepreneur needs, and this is what our walls need to look like. Just big old Post-its that we can move around and put everything on. Call me. It's too hard. Okay, I'm too busy. And replay viewers, chime in as well. Let us know if you agree on these ones, if you have other ones that you want to put in there. So we have these ones. A few other ones that come to mind are, I don't know where to start. Oh, how about this one? How about this one? I can't afford it. Huh? Yeah? Anybody? Anybody? So that's a good list, right? Feel free to keep chiming in, and we'll talk about those. But these are kind of the most popular ones, right? I would say, let's get the red pen over here. I would say, I don't have time, and I can't afford it. I would say those are our 2 most popular excuses for all of us, myself included. We will say that. I don't have time. I can't afford it. It's too expensive. I don't know where I'll get the money for that. Now, of course, it all depends on what we're actually talking about, right? In terms of what XYZ is. So in this case, let's just keep it simple, and I'll use my new course. For those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, let me share with you real quick what just came out over the weekend. Let me get in the circle. So I just launched on Sunday, officially, my new signature course. So the new course is called How to Start a Business in 5 Easy Steps. And this, we're going to kind of break this down of why this popped up and why you should care. Because you may be looking at this like, okay, great, Ed, awesome, but why do I care? I'm going to tell you that. The reason you should care about this is because it ties into what we were just talking about here on the board, on the Post-it, is the excuses are what come up before we can start with anything. And I will tell you that when I created this course, that it's one of those things that came to me overnight, one weekend. So it was one weekend where I wasn't planning the course. I had no intentions of creating a course. Listen, you guys, on, I don't even know, it's been a while now, but I haven't been in the course making mode for a while because I've been focused on Hey Ed and my one-on-one clients and everything. So I haven't really been focused on doing anything with courses. I make my notes, but that's about it. So one weekend, and this is several months ago, I just launched this course on Sunday because I've been sitting on it, you guys. Yeah, we'll talk about that. So one weekend, out of nowhere, I was sitting down reading my books, and this idea came up to create this course. And I was like, okay, I'll just put my notes down and make my notes and outline it, and we'll call it good. Usually that takes a few minutes. Well, I ended up coming up with the whole plan, the whole outline, and I couldn't stop writing, and then I typed. And then afterwards, I looked at it and I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm doing this because I had it already outlined. So then, of course, I went through and made my edits, and then I went through and figured out what I wanted to film, because it's video course. And then I decided, okay, I'll just put it up on stupideasy.com. That's where I host most of my courses, all of my courses, I think now. And what happened was it was done. And I was like, what? Like, that's weird. Because usually it takes longer. It's how many of us, when we're creating something, we kind of take a lot of time because we're trying to figure out what to create. Then we start packing all these things, and then we are like, oh, do I do this? Do I do that? Or whatever. But this just clicked, which is why I didn't put it on the back burner. Meaning I didn't just let the outline sit there. I let the course sit there. We'll talk about that. But it's one of those things that the outline was done. All I had to do was shoot the videos for each lesson. So that took some time, of course. But the snowball effect, it just kept rolling into each other. And it was like, wow, this is cool. Then I put it up and I let it sit for a couple months. Now, the reason why I let it sit was just because I was giving myself excuses of, I'm not sure if I should launch a course right now. Maybe I should hold off. Maybe I still need to add XYZ. What about putting this in there? What about doing that? And I was coming up with all these different excuses, which I'll write that, the one that I just mentioned, which was, is it ready? Or I'm not ready. I don't know why I capitalized the R, but there you go. We go through all of these things in our mind, and self-doubt comes in. And so I let it sit for a couple months. And, I went in and I edited and I watched it over and making sure. And I did add a few items in there, like I added some cool templates towards the secret sauce. Because, let me just show you guys real quick. I'm not going to show you the secret sauce, though. Come on. But I talk about how it's for building a business, because that's what people come to me for. They have those questions around, how do I get started? What should I be doing? I want to build a solid foundation. They may not say those words. Those are my words. But that's what I'm teaching you, right? And so I decided to create this course to be my signature course that I can just send people to that are on a low budget to get started, because I know how that is, and you get so much set up for yourself, right? Including the secret sauce. And so I went through, I even tell you the secret sauce is in there. So I go through that whole thing with you in this course, and then what I did was I made sure to add to the secret sauce some templates that I've actually created. So it's one of those things where I've had it sitting for a couple months. It was done, technically, and just sat there. It worked out in my favor, though, because I still added some key things to it, and it wasn't ready to launch until now, for September. Because it's the fall, and that's when people are starting to get back into the swing of things. That's when people are starting to think more about what options they have, what they can do, and all of that. Now, I didn't put a date on this, like an open-close date, because it's my signature course. And at this point, I don't really want to have an open-close date for it. It's on sale, but it's not one of those things where, you have to register before the end of the month or whatever. Maybe I'll do that at some point, but right now I just wanted to keep it open because for me, this is your opportunity or your friend's opportunity for those who maybe aren't as tech savvy as us or who aren't online as much. It's their opportunity to have something amazing that's going to help them go from idea to business with a solid foundation. So that's why I created it, and that's why I'm saying, don't let these excuses, these are just some. I know many of you are going to have them rolling around in your head afterwards and on the replay, but these are just some of the excuses that we give ourselves. And what happens is then we don't do anything. and we just circle around and around and around. Tammy says, I have a legendary logo design bootcamp course that is just sitting. Tammy, get it. Come on. We need that. How many of us, even if you're watching the replay, I know a bunch of you guys just jumped on. Awesome. Welcome. We're talking about excuses. You definitely want to see the beginning of the show after this, but stay with us. So we have our excuses. Tammy has a perfect example with her course that's also sitting. You got to get it out there. Here's the thing, you guys. Here's another thing. I'll tell you, I'll be honest. The other reason why I launched the course, I knew it was going to happen in fall, but I also launched it because I had a great conversation with my Edsters. For those who are new to me, an Edster is a Hey Ed member. So if you don't know what Hey Ed is, that's my membership community. That's where I help you all month long for business and tech support. So my members decided to call themselves Edsters, which is super cool. They came up with that. I love it. So my Edsters, we have this conversation around courses, and they were talking about it, and we all pretty much agree that, yeah, you just have to launch. And then you get that feedback from people of what opportunities you have, what strengths you have, and then you make those adjustments, and then you just keep it moving. But if we let it sit, hey, Mickey, welcome. But if we let the course sit, like I was doing, how are we supposed to know if it's going to work or not? Now, I'm saying courses just because that's what I just launched, but you put in whatever, you fill in the blank. It could be that product, it could be that service. I'm not saying to go out there and create all of these products and services. That's like a whole nother topic. What I'm saying is that I want you to look at the excuses that you give yourself, that you're saying, and go through and make sure that you cut them out and just do it. I know it's easier said than done, but it's actually that easy. Like I said, the new course, How to Start a Business in 5 Easy Steps, that came to me naturally one weekend. I had the outline done. I decided to set aside some time the following Monday, I think it was, or Tuesday. And from there, I filmed. Like, here's another great example. So I filmed in the morning. So this show, let's just back up for a second. This show is filmed in the afternoon, right? It's 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I got 2 windows in front of me, which is where I get this nice, amazing light, okay? I filmed my course in the morning. This is not the same lighting I get. The lighting I get is pretty darn harsh because the sun is right in front of me. So I literally, you guys, gave myself the excuse, oh, I don't think I can do it now because of the sun. I might have to put this off. Why? I'm ready. I have the time. I blocked it out. Let's do it. So what did I do? I played with my blinds. I got 2 blinds here. I got some curtains. I have a desk lamp. A lamp on my desk here. I played with that lighting until I could get it just right. Was it perfect? No. But it was good enough. And I filmed what I needed to get done. And I got things checked off my list so that I could keep moving forward with the course. From there, I put the videos in my course. I uploaded everything, put it on stupideasy.com, and called it good. Then another day, I reviewed the content, made my notes, added, did whatever I needed to, let it sit. Like there's a time and a place to let it sit, right? So like Tammy, I'm going to use you as an example. Hopefully that's okay. But with your course, you're letting it sit. No worries, okay? We know that it's there. That's check. We know that you want to do something with it. Check. We know that we're going to stop making these excuses. Check. And now we're going to start figuring out what you can do right now with it. So if it's not ready, then review the course and find out what are the to-dos. Like, what do you have to do to make it launch? Because here's the thing, you guys. When it comes to products and services and all this stuff that we are trying to offer, we keep putting these excuses like it's not good enough. We need to keep adding bonuses and we need to keep, we need to keep throwing things in just to satisfy the price or to satisfy what we think people need. No. It literally can be simple and have a high price. Like, even with my course right now, some of you might be looking at the title and being like, How to Start a Business in 5 Easy Steps. Okay, I like it. That sounds a little too easy. I don't get it. Like, you might be thinking about all these different things with just the title, right? And maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I'll find out through feedback. But understand that each lesson is 5 minutes or less. And in that 5 minutes, like, even if you already have a business started, buying that course, I've made it so that when you buy that course, whether you're starting out or you're already in business, you're still going to learn something that's still going to be worth every penny you just spent. That's what I built that course for. Now, I may not put that in the simple language on the sales page there, because that's just, I always have room for improvement on that. But that's like my intent. Like, I had the intent of, I'm building this for newbies, because that's what people are looking for, is like kind of a manual, because there's no manual out there. How do I get started in business? This is it, without making a huge investment right up front, right? You don't have to go hire me or anybody else for a huge amount to figure out if it's going to work for you or not. You go for something like this. It's bite size. You're making those little investments, and you're going to be able to find time, because why? I made each lesson short, and I'm thinking of you throughout the journey. Then, what I've also done is I thought about most of you guys who are watching me, or who know me, you already have a business. You already got a business. So you're going to be like, oh, I don't need this. I already got a business. Hopefully, though, something with it sparks that curiosity in you, and you're like, well, actually, maybe I should check this out. It's still at a decent price, and I could still learn something. And so I went with that in mind, because I know that what I put in this course, the secret sauce to be specific, most people don't have that implemented in their business. Most people don't get taught that when they're building their business, because no one really talks about it, especially not in the beginning stages. It will come up later once we've established a business, hopefully, but not when it should be coming up, which is in the beginning. So that's how I thought about the different people that I attract and how I can take this and run with it. So hopefully that makes sense, that explaining that. Let me just check up on the comments real quick. Cool, looks good to me. Awesome, thank you. Blame it on the sun. Yes, Mickey, I love it. Tammy, I did create the planner workshop, perfect, and set a date for that. Setting dates are key, right? How many of us can agree, even if you're watching the replay, we have to set a date. Dates are key. So I wouldn't procrastinate getting it out there. Yep, and it will be recorded, and I can use it evergreen later. I love that. Good idea. Great course idea. Thanks. I'm taking your course. Can't wait. Yes. Awesome. Thanks, Mickey. It's like I said, you guys apply it to whatever you're working on. I just use the course because it's new and it's something that I could relate to for you guys. And hopefully I broke it down enough for you to understand. Like, we all get this, all of these excuses and more, with the biggest one being I don't have time and I can't afford it. Now, again, if you don't have time, we've talked about this on previous episodes, if you don't have time, then you have to have money, right? We're always trading time or money. So if you know you don't have any time, then that's when you put money down to get whatever you need done. If you have time, but you can't afford it, that's when you have to go in and actually invest your time. So both of these excuses, like all of these excuses, we all can agree, even if we disagree, we can agree that they're all excuses and we can get past them. There's nothing stopping us from doing X, Y, Z and getting it started. And finishing it too, right? But if you haven't gotten to that start point, that's what I want to help you with this episode. So I hope that's helpful and that you guys think about that and really understand that whatever comes to mind, you can beat it. you can move over and go over that hill. Like, that's just a little bump in the road. You're going to be able to go over that and just do something in the time that you have. Remember, if you're doing something like, we'll use Tammy's course for another example again. If you're having a course, like Tammy has one on hold right now, like I mentioned, go through and figure out what's the next step for you. So if you haven't outlined your course, but you have the idea, that would be outlining, right? But if you've already outlined it, what's the next step? Shooting a video, creating a template, creating a flyer, creating a sales page. Like, whatever it is, take that massive to-do item and break it down. And we're actually going to talk about that. I don't think it's tomorrow, but we're going to talk about it later this week. I think it is. I've actually have a content calendar planned for you guys for the next couple weeks. I'm excited about it. So we'll try to stick to that as much as possible. Because if you guys didn't know, I like to have EdTalk TV just right off the top of my head. And that will still happen, but we're going to roll with a little bit of a content calendar too. So it'll be good. I'm really excited for it. So anyway, like I said, if you just popped in, be sure to watch the beginning. The intro has changed, and then we had a nice little ad in between. And then I have the outro coming up here in a second. And until tomorrow, I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so much for watching me, even if you're watching the replay. And be sure to comment so I know and can say hello. And until next time, I will talk to you guys later. Take care.